guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the People's Duchess, where we talk all things the Sussexes, specifically Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. If you are just joining us for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a long-time listener, long-time rocking with me on my socials, welcome back. So, first things first, fair use and all that good stuff. Moving right along, I woke up today and at this point, Harry and Meghan are going to need a trophy room like Serena and Alexis have in their home because they need somewhere to park all of the wins. Well, I know where to start. We'll start with the Women of Vision honorees. So Meghan is among a handful of amazing women who have been nominated to win the Ms. Foundation Women of Vision Awards. This is the 50th anniversary. It's a milestone award. It's a milestone year. And of course, they're going to have milestone people. So basically, the Ms. Foundation Women of Vision Awards is the oldest award of its kind, very prestigious institution, and Meghan is being honored for her campaigning on behalf of women and girls and human rights. And it's just a very big deal. It's like, the wins just keep on coming, and so much so that at this point they're really going to need that trophy room for certain, because they have racked up so many wins in the short 3 years that they have been with Archewell. It boggles the mind. It surely boggles my mind. I volunteer at soup kitchens during Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I always donate to Goodwill and I thrift as much as I can. So I feel like, my little stuff here and there is doing my part. But Meghan and Harry have really hit the ground running with Archewell, and the fruits of their labor is really paying off. So this is a really prestigious award, and it's the second such award just in the last couple of days, in as many days, because Meghan just racked up the Gracie Awards not even 48 hours ago for her podcast, Archetypes. And that's also upcoming, the award ceremony for that. So she's really making the most of everything her platform has afforded her. And I can't help but to think none of this would be possible if they were still second row royals, just smiling and waving at places that they go to. This is the life that they were meant to live. And even though it had to be born of turmoil, it is still worth everything in the end, because just look at this. So I have taken the liberty to compile a list, and this list is not chronological, so don't quote me on the times, okay? Because the times are not as important as the actual list of things. So everyone has seen this list of Meghan's pre-Duchess accomplishments. It's kind of a big deal. It's usually used in comparison with others, but we're not focused on anyone else. We are focused on the Duchess of Sussex in this particular podcast. So the list is long. She has accomplished more in her 35 years prior to becoming a Duchess than most of us will have ever accomplished ever in our entire life. Most people, period, because these are very, very prestigious things to have as accomplishments under one person's belt. So the list of things that Harry and Meghan have accomplished since leaving the royal family, well, I shouldn't say leaving, because they're still members of the royals, and as Queenie put it, very much loved members of the royal family. But what they have accomplished since they have relinquished their roles as senior working royals is vast. When they left, they founded Archewell, which was born of the passion and the spirit of service that they had and named after their beautiful little baby boy. They still found the time to go and volunteer with Homeboy Industries and the Feed Hope Project. They also worked with the Meals on Wheels program to deliver food to at-risk people during this lockdown period. They bought their home. I call it Chateau Montecito. Bought their beautiful, beautiful home in Montecito. They spoke fire and facts to Oprah. The interview heard around the world. It was a very monumental program. It was likened to Diana's Panorama interview. Charles has done such an interview, and he's even written the same kind of book like Spare about his parents and how horrible they were, but for some reason everyone has forgotten about that. Moving right along, Meghan released The Bench and became a New York Times instant bestseller. And The Bench was just such a beautiful book. She spoke about it lovingly, having gotten the inspiration from her watching her husband play with their son. And it was just, The Bench is just such a cute little children's book. Again, this is not chronological, so we're not going in chronological order here, but Meghan and Harry also went and planted forget-me-nots on Diana's 23rd anniversary of her death. They went to the Assistance League of Los Angeles Preschool Learning, and they provide free early years education to low-income families in Los Angeles. So this isn't just coming up and talking about how important the early years are. This is literally going out there and making it happen with individuals who are directly responsible for training, education, nutrition, all of those things for families who cannot afford meals and other things for their children during that time. So this is putting the work in on those early years. Bravo to them for that. Meghan and Harry also volunteered for Baby to Baby, and they did a drive-through pack. So it's like the parents drove through, they gave them backpacks full of school supplies and baby supplies and things of that nature. And this was very significant because Meghan had just suffered a miscarriage not long before. And for her to pick herself up like that and then still go out there and still work with Baby to Baby, which would have been a very sensitive, very hit home kind of subject at the time, she just got herself together and still doubled down on her commitment to children, which phenomenal. I can't even imagine. So then we have Harry getting his first real job. I shouldn't call it a real job because he has been working very hard since his military days, but he has gotten an actual position where he is paid a salary and he is the CIO, which is the Chief Impact Officer for the $1 billion valuated Better Up mental health company. Doing very well. I mean, look at this. Look at this man. That picture, that's a picture right there, okay? And he's putting in the work, and you can tell that he's a very cultured individual to have gotten this role because this is a mental health organization. They're not looking for royal patrons to bring light or bring, notoriety to the business. They are a $1 billion valuated business. They don't need a famous face for their business. But bringing Prince Harry on was a move for the culture. It was a move to tell people, look, this person has gone through some things. He has proven to us that he is going to be of value to you individually who come to seek our services. He has the experience that we are looking for and that we know will be beneficial to you. So this is not paid spokesman work. This is work of a chief impact officer, and creating that impact, you have to have impact to create it. So this is a job that Harry earned, his first job that he really, went out and got. He's on a payroll, which is very exciting. I was very excited to hear that. Harry also has Travelist. Travelist is a eco travel company that is designed to limit the negative impacts of travel for the environment. And what's really special about this is that he has partnered with some major entities. Google is using them for their search data. Expedia has collaborated with them. Amadeus has joined them. He has just a host of very massive partnerships. And again, it just speaks to his ability to get out there, to lead by example, to show people the benefits of conservation and eco-friendly travel. And they have determined that the work he has put in, the documentation that he has given them to say, hey, look, you would be better for joining this because A, B, C, and D has proven valuable to them. So they went ahead and joined him in his effort at Travelist. So they also traveled to New York for their meeting with Governor Hochul, Mayor de Blasio. That was in September 2021. It was just a monumental visit. It was being billed as a royal tour, but it couldn't be further from what it actually was, because Harry and Meghan are no longer working royals, and their tours don't consist of smiling and waving. They're not going there to smile and wave. They're going there to get stuff done. They had a mission and they got it done. Harry also spoke at Mandela Day. He made this very compassionate, empowering speech. It was just beautiful and brilliant. And they showed up, and Meghan looked like Harry's attorney with her Givenchy head to toe black in the same manner that she had worn green when she first joined the royals. Same slick back hair, it was exceptional. It was absolutely exceptional. Meghan looked every bit the HBIC. And of course, they have their worldwide global phenomena, the Netflix documentary, the 3-part documentary that told their beautiful love story, in addition to some of the challenges that they faced in the royal family and their departure from the royal family. So that was also very monumental, because Netflix credits them heavily with the success of that particular quarter. It was just a very, very, very big hit when that Netflix documentary came out. So there's that. And moving on to the more recent wins, we have Archetypes. Oh, my beloved, beloved Archetypes. This podcast is in its freshman year. And in its freshman year, it has won 2 awards already, one of them being the People's Choice Award that was won last year by We the People, selecting Meghan as our choice for Podcaster and Podcast of the Year. In her freshman year podcasting, y'all, Archwell worked really hard. The production team worked super hard, and it has paid off. She has also won the Gracie Award for her podcast. So that's 2 awards in the freshman year of a podcast. A huge accomplishment. People start podcasts and don't get anything for years. They don't even get bites for years, okay? She's gotten awards for this podcast in just the 1 season that has been out. So needless to say, the anticipation for season 2 is extraordinarily high. Harry and Meghan also won the NAACP award, which was a huge honor, and Harry got up there looking all kinds of bomb, talking about what it meant to him to join his wife on this journey, and it was just lovely. He states that, obviously that they're very different, they come from very different backgrounds, but they're brought together for a sole purpose, and that's service, public service. He was just basically saying thank you to the community, the Black community in particular, for inviting him to the cookout, that he was honored to be there. If there is anyone that is invited to the cookout, Prince Harry is permanently invited to the cookout. That man is amazing. So that was a very special award. And I looked up the previous recipients of this President's Award, and it does read like a Nobel laureate list. You've got former President Bill Clinton, you've got Condoleezza Rice, Venus and Serena Williams, you've got a lot of really big names on here: Rihanna, John Legend, Colin Powell. It's amazing the amount of prestige that is on this list alone, and Harry and Meghan have managed to make it their life's work and get this type of recognition in a very short time after leaving the royal family work and the royal fold. So that's very impressive to me. Then there's the Ripple of Hope Award. And this is an award given to them for speaking out against racial discrimination and the things that they face, just being very open and helping others cope and deal with that. Carolyn Kennedy showed up. She gave him that award in person. She handed Prince Harry a picture of his mother. It was a lovely moment. They shared a lovely story. It was a great moment. So in addition to all of the award winning, they're also doing so much charity. There's a lot of charity endeavors that are occurring and that have occurred since they've left the royal fold. So as you know, they've kept some of their patronages, including Well Child and Mayhew, but they've also gone out and made sure to assist plenty of different types of charities. Meghan in particular is keen on supporting women's charities. She was at Harvest House or Harvest Home, excuse me, the other day for women's independence and helping them. And because of her, the notoriety boosted their public profile, and they have since written on their Instagram page that their cup runneth over. The squad came through. As you can see here, there's just a lot going on, a lot of boxes, a lot of great things happening for them. And Harvest Home isn't the only charity that's experiencing this influx of tangible benefits. We're also seeing charities like World Central Kitchen, who have been working with Archwell for some time now, but more recently they're shouting out Archwell for their assistance with providing meals, appreciation, and support in Chicago. So the Duchess of Sussex baked a lemon olive oil cake, and she's actually contributed this recipe to a cookbook that's coming out with Jose Andres. Humanity Crew has also seen and appreciated the work that Harry and Meghan have contributed in providing emergency mental health support to over 4,000 affected by the recent earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. Big, huge help. Mental health is extremely important, especially after an ordeal like that. Then we have the Genesis Women's Shelter, who got a very big surprise when their roof crashed in, and then Harry and Meghan and Archwell stepped in to assist them in repairing that roof. So really, really generous of them out of nowhere, really. So Harry and Meghan have also been recognized for their role in helping put together the pieces in Uvalde after the school shooting kind of rocked the town. Meghan went out there personally, paid her respects, and then they partnered with Kaboom to donate a new playground to Uvalde. And that's been really helpful in helping these kids overcome that trauma and the tragedy. The Sussexes are being recognized for their advocacy on behalf of at-risk Afghans and military veterans who served in Afghanistan. So that's a really prestigious honor. Another one for the books. There's just an endless amount of charities. CanFed is another one that I still donate to regularly. I will probably donate to CanFed for the rest of my life because of Meghan and Harry's involvement and profile. Centivale is another yet. They've won Time's Most Influential. That was a very monumental time in their lives. When they got that cover and then that spread, I was just shocked. I couldn't believe it. It was brilliant. The messaging was brilliant. There's Harry with his mama bear, lioness right there by his side, but also slightly in front of him, which is very interesting because you see juxtapositions like this in like other high profile romances, really strong relationships like the Obamas. They have older pictures like this, but they also have some newer pictures like this as well, where Michelle is slightly in front of Barack in a very protective and very mama bear kind of way. There's something very sexy about a man who can rely on his woman. When this came out, I was just like, ooh, 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 ooh. And then there's that green, olive green number against that yellow background. If two people could represent like elegance, class, power, prestige, humanity, this would be the picture to perfectly depict it all. The power of it all, it gave everything. Then there's their polo charity match. So Prince Harry and his brother, Nacho Figueres, established the Los Padres polo team in memory of his mother, Diana. And they've been having a really great season. They've been raising money for charities. It's a very high profile event. And there's a lot of celebrity that are attracted to these polo matches, and that turns into a lot of money being donated, and kudos to them. So we get to the most recent things. We have Spare, which is in its 11th week at #1. I am just flabbergasted. This man, the ROI on this book for the investors and the publishers must be insane. This book is paying bills, okay? Paying full mortgages, sending all your kids to college. Like, I can't even imagine what the ROI on this book is. Insane. And then you have the radiotimes.com top 100 list of people who have changed the entertainment industry for the better in 2022. And of course, Harry and Meghan made the list at number 13 of 100, which is very impressive. Again, for people who have just been at this for a very short time, they have really dug their heels in and made sure to dedicate themselves to making that space, which is the online space, a more productive, healthier, and safer environment, not just for themselves, not just for their children, but for everyone. Archwell partnering with NAACP to create an award for people who are making online a safer place to be for people and for children in particular. They are really shaping the landscape and trying to combat the hate, and I really applaud them for that. They deserve everything that they have coming to them. They are working so diligently to make the world a better place for their children. Harry is fighting in court every day as we speak to make the world a better place for not just their own children, but for everybody. Everyone, like I said in my last video, should want that lawsuit to prevail, because you can be targeted at any point if the Daily Mail or whomever decides to target you. And they do. They target everyday average people all the time. It is not just celebrities that get targeted. It is a majority of people that are just normal, everyday folks without high profiles. So there's that, and they're really fighting to make a difference. Meghan continues also to work with One Young World. She had her famous One Young World speech not too long ago, wearing that brilliant, dazzling, all red jumpsuit that inspired, we'll just say inspired, other looks. They've been just really killing the game, and I am so proud of them. And it's funny to me when I see different articles stating that they are only receiving all of these awards and all of this prestige because of their proximity to the royal fold. And I kind of just want to know how they figure that, right? Because if that were the case, everyone who were close in the royal fold would be successful. But that's not the case. We have example after example after example after example after example of people who have failed in this family. I am not going to name names because, again, this is a podcast about Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and her works. But what I will say is that if proximity to the royal family buys you success, then there would be no failures in the royal family, especially individuals who are this close to the future king and the king. There shouldn't be anyone who has businesses that are started that fail. There shouldn't be anyone who's writing books that fail. The public should be eating up whatever you're selling, because according to the naysayers, you are going to instantly be rich and famous if you are in proximity to the royals or related to the royals. So how are these failures explained? There's no way to explain how these folks are failing or have failed, whereas Harry and Meghan have just done nothing but succeed. And I'll leave it at that. Anyways, so thank you so much, guys, for joining me. What do you think in the comments? Let me know what you think about Harry and Meghan's winning streak. Is it ever gonna end? It shouldn't. It doesn't have to. I think that they are definitely on trajectory to win the Nobel. There's nothing that says that they won't. They're already in great company. Malala and Obama, previous Nobel laureates. So there is nothing that's stopping them from winning that Nobel Peace Prize. I give them 5 years. And don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoy my content and my social media pages. Please don't forget to hit subscribe. Click on that bell to get notified whenever a new video is out.